One more time. What's wrong with Canadians?
Weed.
The drugs? I'm sorry.
Don't smoke, kids. Bad. Fespe.
Yeah, but...
Boring. Do you bear any hostility towards the Russian people?
I am Russian.
Do you believe in Jesus Christ?
What the fuck did you say?
Okay, fuck you and your Miyagis now. Fuck. What the fuck? Fuck.
One more time. I needed to synchronize, sound and video. Or you too old for this shit now?
No.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
How are you?
I'm tired. I got back from Canada Friday night, and I am bloody exhausted.
I forget to introduce you. Watchers? How do they call it?
What?
Who will watch it? Watchers?
Who are the viewers?
The viewers? Yes, yeah. Today I invite amazing person. Incredibly. But he couldn't come, so I come Scott instead of him.
I love this man. He's my favorite male student.
Because I am the only one, his male student. So, you're back from Canada?
Yes, sir.
How long you haven't been there? It's because of COVID and so on?
Yeah, and so on, yeah. 3 years.
On, yeah.
3 years.
3 years, yeah. What was the first thing what you did when you came to Canada back?
Oh, good God. Well, I met my father met me at a train station outside of Toronto, and we went back to my family's home in Fenelon Falls, and I sat down with my family and ate dinner for the first time in 3 years. That was absolutely lovely.
Cool.
Yep.
How was your summer in common? How was your summer in common?
Oh, in general, fine. Really nice. When the school year ends, everything slows down a little bit. So I just taught some classes in July, and then mid-August I left for Canada, and then came back mid-September. So very relaxed, very good.
So good summer.
Yeah, very good, very good. How about yours? What did you do?
Oh, I have. I created a good expression for my summer. Well, I don't think I create, but this summer ate me and back. I need a word for What's the word?
To spit.
To spit back.
Yeah.
Go away from your happiness.
Oh, dear. I'm sorry.
No. Now I'm totally fine. I had one of the best lessons in my life, I think.
Really?
Yeah, because my summer was like you call it Russian roads. But we call it American roads, you know it? Yeah, I don't know why, but it's fun.
So it was a roller coaster. It was
sometimes good, sometimes bad, and for the first time in my life, I really was riding on American roads in real. I mean, in park.
Oh, okay.
I mean about this. And I thought I will be like keep a silence like a cool man. But when we grew up, I like it's so fucking high. It's not normal. I see my hotel. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yes, and
then it goes over the top.
Yes, it goes over the top, and in front of me there was a man, adult with a girl, and he turned to me and asked, "You scared too?" And I'm like, "No, I'm terrified," And he said, "Oh, I'm here because only my daughter." And I'm like, "Stop with these trains, children's here, yo." The fuck? And when we went down, I like, "Yeah, but..." for the whole part. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, but about my summer, it was started really good. I was in a hike.
I was hiking.
Yeah, to the river and so on. And in those moments, I felt like I felt. Fell it's when you fall, but in past time.
I fell. Yeah. So you were hiking and you fell.
No, I felt.
You felt. Oh, you felt. Okay.
I felt, so I'm just your teacher, And
Yeah. This is good. I like it. Okay.
Yeah, so I felt really like uniting with nature and so on. And it was in June. In July, one of my best friend had a marriage.
No, good.
Yeah, and I I had a strange feeling. I felt absolutely happiness, but for another person. And it was, I think, for the first time I feel so high happiness for happiness of someone.
For someone else.
For
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
else, yeah. Like, in August, I went to Turkey with a girl.
And how did that? And
Rogue hiding in the end. Yeah.
oh dear. So
Yeah, you know, I recognize one thing. If someone told me that it will be like that, I would be like, "What the fuck did you say?" Yeah, because how does it describe? She's beautiful. I mean, about appearance, and she's a good person and so on. But in this vacation, I recognize that I don't feel anything to her.
for her.
For her, yeah. But I like her for a few years. But she live in another city, and we just chatting and so on. And maybe we both change to this moment. And maybe when you how to say, have a conversation with person by online, and if when you meet in real, this is another person and so on. Yeah, but I was overthinking not about this. She told me one thing about I heard many times, but from different girls. But her phrase really shot me, or something like this. She said, "I emotionally, I don't feel you." Yeah, and this got me overthinking a lot. Like many girls told me the same thing, but with another phrase, like "I don't understand you," or when I talking to you, it's like this and so on. But this phrase got me overthinking. And when I back from this vacation, I was about not depressed, but like said, "What's wrong with me?" or something like this. But now I recognize. Maybe this girl doesn't feel me, right?
Yes. Dude, I don't know what to say. Women are complicated. Women, and I'll tell you, it doesn't get any easier as you get older. They're still complicated.
Oh yeah, but one of the best lessons in my life. I mean, if you really like person, now I hope we will be good friends. Really, if you really like a person, it doesn't mean that you will be a good couple.
Yep, absolutely. Good God, I've had some. I've had some close friends in the past. I have one of my friends I visited in Canada. We've been friends for, good God, almost 20 years. And she is absolutely amazing. She is wonderful. She is terrific. She is an incredible actor. She is an amazingly talented person. And I love her like a sister. And that's all there is to it. She is absolutely amazing. And yeah, never ever happen. So
I understand you, yeah, because I have a girlfriend. We know each other, or we have known each other.
we have known each other.
Boom. From school.
Oh,
From
good.
high
Okay.
school, yeah,
Okay.
and like she's not like sister to me, but I think she's my best girlfriend. No, just girlfriend, not partner.
Yep.
Yeah, and I never thought like something could be
You could ever have
between us. We really just friends. So
Yep.
if someone says like friendships doesn't exist between men and women, it's bullshit. I think, in my opinion, it exists.
Yeah, I agree. I think it does.
Yeah.
So
So I have one more interesting question. Are you sad about Queen's death?
yes, I am.
Why?
Okay, in Canada right now, and all over the Commonwealth, there's a lot of debate. A lot of people are saying it's the end of the monarchy. Should we we should end it? Every country should become a republic. Blah blah blah.
Like in Star Wars. Like in Star Wars.
Like in Star Wars, sure.
Do.
Yeah. I think she represented the best of what a constitutional monarchy can be. And if you look at countries that have constitutional monarchies and compare them to countries that don't, the ones that have a constitutional monarchy seem to be more politically stable. Like, for example, compare Canada and the United States. The United States right now is a dumpster fire, and Canada is just its boring, usual self. So, yeah. But it doesn't always hold true. Certainly, Britain right now is a bit of a political dumpster fire, and they're the mother of all constitutional monarchies. So.
Okay. I remember one thing that your great grandma or just grandma had a letter from the Queen.
Yes.
Personal letter.
Yeah. Well,
How did it happen?
Oh no! Well, this happens all over the Commonwealth. When somebody turns 100 years old, the Queen sends them a letter, says, "Congratulations, you made it a long way." So
You didn't die or something
yes,
like
exactly.
this.
Congratulations on not dying. That's basically it. Yeah. So that was my great aunt Molly.
Great grand.
Well, great aunt. Actually, my ex's grandmother's sister. So yeah, it would be her great aunt Moll, and she was she was quite amazing.
But
She died at 104.
104. And Queen died at 99? No?
96.
96. Oh.
96. Yeah.
Well, she couldn't write a letter for herself.
Yeah, exactly. She's not going to get a letter. So there we go.
Cool.
Yeah, it's good God. Okay, I'm old, and when I started school, we started school every day singing the national anthem of Great Britain and Canada and reciting the Lord's Prayer, and all of that has stopped. But when I was in grade 3, it was those 3 things started every school day. So it was always God Save the Queen. She's been the only queen I've known in my entire life, and it's and she was the pinnacle of grace, dignity, decorum, all of the best things that you could hope for from somebody who represents their country. So truly an amazing woman who had one of the most difficult jobs going, and she has my respect.
Do you think her job was difficult?
Yes.
To be a queen?
Yeah, absolutely.
In the peacetime, I think, for England?
Yeah, under constant scrutiny.
Under what?
Constant scrutiny. She was always being looked at. Every time she went out, she was being photographed.
I'm sorry, you mean a lot of attention to her?
Yes.
Something like this?
Yes, absolutely. And you look at, Sarah Ferguson and Diana Spencer, both of them, when they married into the family, they both went a little bit nuts. Maybe Diana more so, because they couldn't take the constant scrutiny. They couldn't take. People were always looking at them, talking about them. They were always photographing them. They were commenting on when they gained weight, when they lost weight. Are they pregnant? Are they not pregnant?
Too much attention. Yeah.
Yeah. Never a private moment. Couldn't go to the beach without people taking photographs. Couldn't go to a. You couldn't visit your friends. You couldn't go for a night out at the pub. Heaven help you if you went out and you got drunk. That just doesn't happen. It can't happen. That's tough. That's really, really difficult. So.
Well, yeah, maybe I didn't think about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, do you know 6 handshake theory?
Oh yeah, 6 degrees of separation.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's in English. Sounds like this. I don't know.
Yep.
But it's like the whole world know each other by 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
No?
Yep.
So I would like to know how many celebrities by you I know. I mean, movie stars. You're working at how to say movie production or?
Yeah. Oh, good God! In I don't know, 2003 through 2008, I think approximately. I had a business partner, and we were running a casting studio. And
Yeah, because many of the movies, how to say, were shot in Canada, in Vancouver, because it's looks like New York and cheaper
yes,
to make movies there.
yes, exactly. And a lot of shows were ended up being. Now I was working in Calgary, and any time a production wanted scenes of nature, mountains and forests and blah blah. Alberta was absolutely fantastic. So you had everything. You had mountains, you had forests, you have desert, you have prairie. You've got everything within basically 100 miles of the city. So it was very, very easy for them to come and again, you're right, cheaper than the United States.
I think this is the main reason, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. As soon as we ended up closing down the business in about 2000, was it mid 2008? It was August, I think, and we were planning on expanding the business. And I started to crunch the numbers, and I discovered, let's say, we'd been working for a very, very long time and not making a lot of money. If you want to make a lot of money, don't go into the movie business. Bad flippin' idea. Okay, just don't go there. It's not a great way to make money.
If you're not a movie star.
If you're not a movie star, yeah, forget. Yeah, well, and even the other act. If you're not a lead actor, you will for a period of time make some very, very good money, and then your next gig might be might never happen. It might be in a year. It might be in 2 years. It might. You might keep auditioning for roles and just not getting them.
You talk about extra, or maybe extra of second role, or something like this.
Yeah. Like secondary roles, or like an extra or background. Those people make good money, like something like I don't know, $15, $20 an hour. But you're paid that money for the days you're on set. Doesn't matter whether they use you or not. They say, okay, we need 400 people, and each of them gets paid $20 an hour. And if they're on set for 16 hours, that's some great money. And they might be, most of the time will be spent sitting around doing absolutely nothing. And then some of the time they'll just be standing in a crowd, and they will shoot a scene over and over again. So it can be boring, it can be hot, you can be cold, you can be whatever. You're just standing there waiting for stuff to happen. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you make some money doing that, great, but
What about real job or something like this?
It's,
if you want to be an actor, think about what can you do more. Not only playing or something like this, because
the roles are few and far between. Mm-hmm. And if you want to be a working actor, it's one of the toughest jobs going. You have to have a very, very thick skin. You will get rejected for roles on the basis of how tall you are, of how you look. The biggest movie we cast in Calgary was Brokeback Mountain. We did all of the Canadian casting for that, and one young woman looked too much like one of the lead actors, and so they didn't cast her. Wonderful woman, talented, really, really terrific. No, she looks too much like the lead. There might be some confusion. We're not going to hire her. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah, it's like with me. I'm too much tall for this.
Yeah, you're too tall. You're talented, you're good looking, and you're too tall.
So, how many stars? I remember Heath Ledger. How do you describe this man? Not tall?
Not tall.
Not tall. I would pee in my pants if I seen Heath Ledger, really. So Jake Gyllenhaal, because they was in one movie, right?
They were in that movie together.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yes.
You often mention her. I noticed. You like her?
Oh, she has a combination of looks and voice. My God, her voice is absolutely beautiful. No,
Scarlett Johansson, if you're watching this. No, Scott is single now.
Great, thanks. She's also...
Holy.
You know. God. Anyways. No. I was, and this had actually nothing to do with the casting business. At the time, I was working as a projectionist. I had worked as a projectionist for 15 years, and she came into my theater with, what the hell was his name? Josh Hartnett. And they watched, they had me screen The Black Dahlia. Private screening for them on like a Tuesday afternoon, something like that, in Calgary. I don't know what she was doing in Calgary. I don't know what he was doing in Calgary. Doesn't really matter. I saw them both. Would they recognize me? No. Would they remember me? No. Would they care? No. That's fine. That's 90% of the business. You know, you've got a job to do. They have a job to do. You do your jobs. Meh.
Okay. Let me show you something.
Okay.
This is our chat from our group.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
I will show all your dirty pants right now.
Uh-oh.
I'm here. I come back. I missed you guys too much. Canadians are boring. Look at this is you.
Yes.
Scarlett. Don't miss this man.
Oh, good. Oh my God! I look at that. That's sadly that's the best picture of me.
Really?
Oh yeah. I don't photo. That's one of the reasons I'm not a star, and that's one of the reasons she is. Okay, so.
What's wrong with Canadians?
What's wrong with Canadians? Well, hang on.
Oh, with Canada?
With Canada.
How about Canadians and Canada?
Well, Canadians are boring, and Canada is boring. There's nothing wrong with that.
You have legalized. You have a legalized, you know.
Yes, yes.
Why is boring?
In the village where my parents live in a village, and there are 3 pot shops in the village where they live.
Pot shops?
Places where you can buy weed. So legal weed, yes. I think
it's forbidden in Russia. Don't smoke weed.
Yeah, definitely. No. Don't smoke, kids. Bad. Yeah, the 3. Okay, well, Canada's very, very. It's a lovely country. I absolutely love it. I love the fact that happenstance had me born in a good, safe, prosperous country, and I grew up incredibly privileged. Good education, good family. Summers at a dacha, and a lot of Canadians, like just about every Russian has a dacha. Most Canadians don't. It was a very rare thing. So that the fact that I got to spend summers on a lake at a dacha was absolutely amazing. But I've been working for years at a whole bunch of jobs. What do? You go to work, you go home, you make dinner, you watch some television, you go to bed. Wash, rinse, repeat. And I had the opportunity to do something that was a little bit more interesting than just keep doing that until I retire and then spend more time watching television or something like that. So, yeah.
You like routine, yeah?
Yeah.
And I think this is one of the reasons why old people get dementia or something like this, because day by day you're doing the same thing, watching television, and that's all.
Yeah. Not stretching your brain, not doing something engaging. I don't know. What can I say? I just find Canada to be very boring, very predictable.
And Canadians. Or
yeah,
not?
Yeah, boring and predictable.
Reason?
Maybe the British heritage. We got all the worst of Britain. We've got all of. We're uptight and anal retentive and not very open and very closed and superficially friendly. But to really be friends with a Canadian, oh my God, that takes forever. It takes months. It takes years. So it's a really strange situation to be in, talking to Canadians. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And oh my God, all of my Russian students, they say, "Oh, I want to move to Canada," and I'm thinking, why? oh my God, it's really boring. And they say, well, okay, well, boring would be kind of nice. And I can understand that. I can see why boring would be interesting for some Russians.
It doesn't mean that we can't find. Oh, I shouldn't say this. It's not about me. It's about my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
My friend, he's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I know. God, yeah.
You know this friend, man? Yeah.
I think. Well, you've mentioned him a couple of times.
A couple.
Yeah, exactly. He's a troublemaker. That's okay.
Yeah. So, how you came to adventures to make fun in your life? I think it's maybe I'm wrong. It started from your bike trip, something like this. Can you more details about this? Where did you start your bike trip? How does it long? Where did you finish? Details on.
Okay, well, fair enough. All right, so when I was about 30 years old, I decided I wanted to learn to ride a motorcycle. So I bought
30 or 40?
30. I was 30. So I bought a motorcycle, and before that I took riding lessons, did a whole bunch of research, bought my first motorcycle, and rode that bike for 6 years, 7 years, and then got a bigger bike, and then I got a bigger bike, and despite being in 2 motorcycle accidents, I decided when I turned 50 that I wanted to do something interesting. So I took a 6-month sabbatical from work. I flew my motorcycle from Canada to Dublin. And then I flew to Dublin and got on the motorcycle, and I rode my motorcycle through Europe for 6 months. So I started in Dublin, and the farthest east I got was Yekaterinburg, and then I rode back.
For 6 months.
Yeah, for six months.
Did you have a shower? I don't know.
Yeah, I had a few showers while I was there. I had and 3 months I spent in Russia.
On the bike.
On the bike, yeah. Well, not entirely on the bike.
Well, your trip was on the bike.
Yes, the trip was on the bike. Well,
this was your transport.
Yeah, that was the transport. So I got to St. Petersburg. I don't know, in July of 2018. And I took a week-long Russian course. I thought, okay, I'll learn some Russian in a week. God,
you mean language?
Yes.
For the week?
Yes, 1 week of Russian lessons. Yeah, that.
Did it help?
No, it did not help.
I think you had no idea how complicated it is before you decided to move here.
I had no idea, and really, if I had known how complicated your language was, I would have moved to Yemen. I think Yemen would have been a better choice than Russia, for language. Anyways, and maybe everything else.
Any country for a language, I think, better for you than Russia. I think.
Maybe, except for maybe I don't know, Finland or Hungary or something like that.
Yeah, or maybe Japanese.
Chinese.
Maybe, I don't know.
Anyways, so I get week of Russian, then I get on my bike and I go to Tver, and I go to Moscow, and I go to Nizhny Novgorod, and I go to Nizhny Novgorod and Kazan and Izhevsk and Perm, and then I went to Kachkanar, where I got arrested.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about this.
Yeah. Okay, so all right. So here's how it works. I'm on my motorcycle trip, and I've got my phone, and the phone is my GPS and everything else. And a day or two before I arrive in a new place, I will get on any of the websites like Airbnb or Booking.com, and I'll book a hotel or I'll find a place to stay, and then get to the new city, and then spend a couple 3 days there wandering around, having a look at stuff, and and then go on to the next place. Well, I wanted to go to Kachkanar because I had read an article about a bunch of crazy Buddhists who'd set up an ashram on top of a mountain. I thought, that'd be really cool. I'd like to go and see them. I'm
sorry, you thought in Kachkanar living a Buddhist guy?
Yeah. Yeah, there's
because it sounds like Kashkanar sounds like place like for Buddhist guy, or you read something?
I read an article, yeah, about
or just Kashkanar?
no, not Kashkanar. It was a Buddhist guy. And okay, so and if you go south from Kashkanar, just about, I don't know, 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers east of Yekaterinburg is Irbit, where they make the Ural motorcycle. And I thought, ooh, that'd be really cool. Go to the Irbit, Ural factory and have a look at that. So, anyways, I go to Kashkanar and I book my my hotel on Booking.com, and I've got my Google Maps that's taking me there, and I check into my hotel, and the person says, "Oh, what are you here? You're a tourist." She looks at me kind of funny, and I thought, okay, whatever. And, I get into the hotel room, and then 10 minutes later, knock, knock, knock. I open the door. I'm half undressed, and it's a policeman. He's looking at me. I'm looking at him. And he asks me a question in Russian.
Do you remember what was the question?
Oh, hell no. No. I have no idea. And
Maybe just the sound like...
well, he was a nice guy. He asked me a question, and I say, I am very, very sorry. I don't speak Russian. And he looks...
Чего?
He looks at me. He is completely dumbfounded. He just sort of sighs, and he says, "Do you get your papers? You have to come with me." Yeah, okay, fine, whatever. So I get my passport and hop in the back of the the little car, and then we go to the police station, and then he's trying to ask me questions, and we're using Google Translate to go back and forth. And it's not working very good, so they have
because
to...
connection.
No.
Google Translator is bad.
No, well, Buddy had never used Google Translate before, so when we were trying to use the speech recognition, it was really awkward. It was not working particularly. Anyways, so he said, well, we have to go and get a translator. So sit around for a couple of hours and a translator. I think there are two people in Kashkanar who speak English well. They're both English teachers. So this guy shows up, and then he starts doing the translation, and he says, Kashkanar is a closed city. I said, I didn't know that. And he said he didn't know that either. This guy living there had no idea that Kashkanar was a closed city. And
I didn't know that Kashkanar exists, but I'm Russian and so on.
Exactly. So here's a guy who's living in Kashkanar, who he'd invited friends to come to Kashkanar all the time, and none of them were getting permission to come, and he had no idea why. Now he knows it's a closed city. So Buddy Boy basically fills out a form that says. This guy arrived in the motorcycle in the closed city. He had no idea what he was doing. There was no information that said this was a closed city. And we're going to kick him out. And we're going to give him an administrative fine for being in a closed city. And then, okay, so there's police guy. And then this other guy comes in wearing a really, really ugly suit. And he's really young. He's like 28 years old.
Policeman?
No, FSB.
FSB.
Oh. So FSB guy goes
next level.
Yeah, exactly. FSB guy.
20 years old.
28 years, maybe 28. I mean, this kid, he was a kid, okay? And okay, the picture you showed of me with this is how I looked, okay? I had this big honking, I looked like Dead Morose, okay? And so
with these glasses, yes.
With these glasses, and FSB guy is asking me questions. My favorite question was.
Where is my presents, Dead Morose? I wrote you a letter every fucking year. No fuck.
He says, do you bear any hostility towards the Russian people? And I'm looking at him. I say, no, actually, you guys are frickin' awesome. Everywhere I've been has been really terrific. Well, the exception of Kashkanar, but, whatever. That's okay. There's your city, your rules, whatever. And... all kinds of really weird stuff. Anyways, at the end, he says, "Well, how did you get here?" And I said, "Google Maps." And I just, oh. And then he says, "Well, you were in a hotel. How did you get there?" Booking.com. Oh. And then he says, "Look, you need to understand. There are a bunch of cities that foreigners can't go, and it's all on the Federal Migration Service website." And I said, I looked at the FMS website, and it says there are closed cities, but it doesn't tell you which cities are closed. And he says, we can't tell you that because they're closed cities. I looked at him.
First, about Fight Club.
Yeah.
Do not talk about Fight Club.
I looked at him. He looked at me. I looked at him. He looked at, and he shook his head, and he just kept writing because he knows it's ridiculous. It was just absolutely crazy. Anyways, at the end, both the cop and this guy apologized to me. They said, "We are really sorry. It's a closed city. We have to kick you out." And then the translator stepped in, and he said the following morning, he said, "Look, this guy, he's got a hotel room. It's late. It was coming up to like 8 p.m. It was getting dark, okay? And I do not like riding my motorcycle at night." Anyways, the translator guy got me to stay. He said you can stay in the hotel overnight. And the following, they said you have to leave. Go out the same road you came in. Don't go anywhere. It's okay, not a problem. So, and outside of the hotel in the morning, there's a cop watching, making sure that I actually leave. And one of the translators came by and said, "Let me buy you breakfast." So bought me breakfast and went for breakfast. And then I went south to Yekaterinburg. And that was it. However, okay, so translator lady said, "I have a couple of former students who live in Yekaterinburg who would probably like to show you the city. Would you like me to give you their numbers?" And I said, "How about this? Why don't you give them my phone number? And if they want to contact me, they're welcome to. And if they don't, that's fine. I've been to lots and lots and lots of cities."
They contacted you?
Yes, they both did. First one, Anastasia. I arrive in Yekaterinburg about 3 o'clock. At about 3:30, I get a phone call. Anastasia says, "Hello, my name is Anastasia. I am a former student of Yulia."
I am Russian. We don't talking like that, you know? Maybe.
I'm a Russian woman. She says, Anastasia says that you would Yulia says that you would like a tour of my city. And I said, "That would be lovely. When would you like to go?" And she said, "Now." Okay, so I said, "Well, why don't you give me half an hour and I'll have a shower and and she says, "I will drive to your hotel. I will meet you there." She drives to the hostel where I'm staying, and she gets out of her red car. I forget what it was, doesn't matter. And this woman has an arbuz on her like you wouldn't believe. Like she has to be 7 or 8 months pregnant. And I looked at her and I thought, this was not expected. I said, "I apologize. I've just arrived in town. I have not had time to get a bite to eat. Would you, if there's a cafe nearby, would you mind if I got a bite to eat? And I'm very happy to buy you a late lunch." She said, "Certainly." We go to a cafe, we sit down, we order some food. And I said, "Again, I apologize. I did not know that you're pregnant. So if you just want to sit and chat, that would be fine. We don't have to go for a long walk around the city. And by all means, please invite your partner. I don't want to be rude or exclusive or anything like that." And she looks at me and she says, "I'm divorced." Okay, so here we are. We have the...
I'm single now. The father for my baby.
Exactly. I'm thinking, oh my God, okay, divorced woman with a bun in the oven. And have I been set up on a blind date? What's going on here? And this was really weird. And so anyways, we end up going on a walk around the city, and she takes me to the church that was built on the place where the Romanovs were executed, and that was kind of weird because the Romanovs they've all been sanctified. What is it? Canonized. They've all been canonized. They've all got halos. That's interesting for a whole bunch of reasons. Anyways, we leave the church and we're in the car and she looks at me and she says, "Do you believe in Jesus Christ?" And I looked at her and said, "I really wish I did, but unfortunately, I just don't have faith." And that was happily the end of our conversation and the end of our relationship. The following day, I was contacted by another one of Yulia's students who was 31 years old and not pregnant and also divorced. And I thought, what is going on here? There's something here that's going on that I just don't understand. Like believe me, pregnant divorced girl freaked me out more than FSB guy. like so I
Because
was
Jesus?
because baby. I thought, Fea's big guy, he's not going to have my baby. This girl, I don't know what's going on here. I have no idea. This is really weird. And at that point, I contacted some friends who I had met here in St. Petersburg, and I said, guys, I don't know what the hell is going on here. There's a lot going on in this country that I clearly do not understand. So I can either continue south, going to Ufa and then into Kazakhstan, or I could come back to St. Petersburg and study Russian for another month before my visa runs out. And one of my friends said, yeah, come crash at my place. And so that's what I did. I went back to stay with her and her daughter. And I studied Russian for another month. And then when my visa ran out, I left and did the rest of the tour of Europe and then went back to Canada. And while I was there, I met a bunch of expats, and they said, well, if you want to come back, we'll help you find a job. We'll help you find a place to live. We'll help you get a life sorted if you want to do that. This country is great. This country is wonderful. This country is fantastic.
Our language is beautiful.
Your language is beautiful. I had no idea. And I thought, starting at the beginning, and look at that, pretty letters, and look at this, and then
excuse me, what is мягкий знак?
Yeah, what is
Твердый знак?
Yeah. Okay.
Мягкий знак.
Okay, fuck you and your мягкий знак. Okay, just
мягкий знак, не мягкий знак, а мягкий.
Мягкий знак.
Мягкий. Мягкий.
Oh, fuck you. Yeah,
Мягкий.
Мягкий.
Мягкий, like your belly, мягкий.
Мягкий. Anyways, мягкий знак. Anyways, fuck that. Here's a letter that doesn't make sense. Okay, I still can't hear it. I can't hear it. Yes. Yeah, what the fuck? What the fuck? Okay, like that. Anyways, makes my life very difficult and very complicated.
I didn't tell you, but I stopped drinking,
Congratulations. Why?
I have no idea. Maybe this summer something changed in me. I have no idea, really. Last time when I drank was in Turkey, and it was more than a month ago. And I really don't want to drink. We went out with the girls from our group. We were in the pub, and I took a non-alcohol cider, and it was completely fine. I just recognized that I would say, don't want to be happy by alcohol. I just want to be happy by my life. It doesn't mean that I will never drink anymore. Maybe on my birthday or something like this, but for now I really feel myself okay without it. Now I recognize that sometimes I drank because I felt pain or something like this, just to feel myself better or something like this.
I've discovered that Russians have a very complicated relationship with alcohol.
Well, yeah, because we started to drink from 15, maybe, and to my age, we usually finished drinking. Maybe some of us, maybe some continue drinking. Maybe a lot of Russians because feel pain and so on. Maybe someone like alcohol and so just taste of it. But I don't understand how can someone like taste of alcohol. Like beer, yeah, it's tasty, but whiskey, I like whiskey, but I don't know, do I lie to myself that I like this taste to just get easy this shot, or I really like it, but feelings, this is not good feelings, right? When you have to burn in your throat and in your mouth and so on, so...
Yeah, well, I didn't start... I was like you. In university, I drank beer, lots of beer. And maybe 45, I started drinking more hard alcohol. And yeah, I like it. I like a shot of vodka. I like a good whiskey. I like, on an occasion, sitting on my balcony with a book and a glass of whiskey with one ice cube in it and just sipping that for an hour. Just enjoying that, just enjoying the taste, enjoying the flavor, reading a book. Oh God, I love that.
I never try like drink and read book. Is it okay? Is it? Do you remember what you
No, yeah,
read, or
but I have it. But
do you have fun?
But Alexander, I'm having one whiskey, just one, and
Yeah, I understand.
yeah. So it's not like I'm getting drunk and I'm trying to read. Yeah, when I'm really drunk, I can't read street signs, I can't really see a lot of the time. So yeah, no, just one.
Yeah, but about how we started to drink at university, on for the first course and second course, I remember on the every weekend I went out with my friends and completely drank whiskey, not beer or something like this, like and shit and so on, and it was fun. And but I remember in the middle of education, it was in the end of second course, I remember how I and my friends just tired of drinking, and we grow up not grow up. Like we saw each other at my flat, and just like in England, drank tea with the cakes and so on. And I remember how we were sitting and like, not bad, tea, and we don't want to drink anymore and so on. And like.
Same for everyone. My friends and I in university, Friday night we'd go out and we'd spend, I don't know, $50 each. And this is back in 1988, 89. $50 was a lot of money, and we'd go and spend $50 at the bar, and we'd go to one place where you could buy drugs of draft beer, Drum and Draft, for $5. And
you said drugs? I'm sorry. Drugs of beer?
Draft. No. A big jug of beer. So like
bottle?
No, not like a
tower of beer.
Yeah,
we call it tower, of beer.
Oh, you call it a tower? Okay, well,
a beer tower. And you have a little thing to.
Oh no, we didn't have a little thing. You just pour it into a glass.
No,
so
we have it in pub.
No, you got a
how does it call?
A spigot or
something like this.
Yeah. No. Just a jug, and you pour it in. There's probably 4 pints in a jug.
Something like this.
Yeah, so we'd start off with 1 or 2 jugs each as a warm up for the evening. Like that's crazy. But after a while, you get to know what your limit is. You get to know what makes you feel good. For me, it's 1 or 2 pints. And now that's what I drink when I go to the pub. 1, maybe 2 pints. And 90% of the time, that's what I do, and it feels good.
Yeah, but I don't remember when was the last time when I was completely drunk, how in Russia says, drunk in shit. I know my limit now and so on. Even on my best friend's marriage, I was completely fine. Good. Like I was drunk, but not like.
You didn't start any fights. Were there any fights at your friend's wedding? I heard it's not a Russian wedding unless there's a fight. Was there a fight?
No. But I mentioned some fight, like with this best friends. We have known each other from 4th class, but we started to be a friend only in 5th class. Oh. Before this, we always fighting.
Okay.
Yeah, this is how we become friends in Russia. And it's really true. With all my best friends, our friendship started like from enemies, something like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So,
well, it was. I was going to say when I went back to Canada, I drink more here than I do in Canada.
This is Russia.
Exactly. It's just more part of the culture, and also I teach very, very, very long hours, and at the end of the day, it's nice to go out with my colleagues and go to the pub and decompress. And we will, if it's been a really good day, we get to say, cheers, it's been a good day. I had a really, I taught a really great class. The students were really responsive. Everything was terrific. Or I can go to the pub and I can say, guys, I bollocks this class. I just screwed everything up. I'm trying to teach this and I just made a complete dog's breakfast of it. Help me. What do you guys do? How do you approach this? How do you approach these things? How do you teach this stuff? And they will tell me what they've done in the past. They'll give me ideas. They'll give me suggestions, and it's just casual. We're just drinking. We're kibitzing. We're throwing out ideas, and it helps give you some perspective and work with get ideas from the people you're working with.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Did you give some advice for colleagues?
Not a lot. More the advice I had was how people would ask me how I deal with the teenage students, because they're stupid. No, they're not stupid. Oh,
let me show you my brother.
No, those poor kids. Okay, I come to class and there's 10 teenagers there, between the ages of like 14 and 17.
Forced to learn English by their parents.
Exactly,
something like this.
Exactly, their parents are telling them to be in class, and they've been in school all day, and they are tired. I can tell they're tired, and it's 5 o'clock, and they come into the classroom, and they're exhausted, and I look at them and I say, guys, I get it. You don't want to be here. I understand. You don't care.
Me too.
Yeah, sorry. You don't care about English. I understand. I get that. Okay. So we're gonna work hard for about 15 or 20 minutes in this class. We're gonna really do some hard work. But the rest of the time, I'm gonna try to make this as fun as I possibly can. And I would do that. And one of the classes, I started at the beginning of the class, new group of students, and they didn't want to be here. So I go up to the board, and I write on the board in big red letters, fuck. And I look at them and I say, how many of you know this word? They're all looking at me, and they raise their hands. Okay, I say, good. What does it mean? And they have no, and they're sort of, giving some ideas, and I just look at them and I go, and the eyes get big. Some of the girls titter. Some of the guys, they're not expecting a really honest answer like that. And I said, okay, look, what other words do you know in English? And I get, bitch. Ooh, bitch. Okay, let's write this on the board. Shit. Ooh, shit. There we go. I write it on the board, and I get a few of them, and they're getting into this, and I say, okay, so what does this mean? What does this mean? What's the actual definition of it? And now, how do we use it? Because the definition and how we use it are completely different things. So how do we use it in English? When do we use it? When have you heard it? How does it get used? And then I say to them, okay. And so it's been 20 minutes, half an hour of this, and I look at them. Okay, I said, now please, do not tell your parents or anyone else that I taught you any of this. I said, number one. Number two, do not use any of these words. I said, when you understand the cultural context, you can use them, but right now, don't. Please don't. And they nod, they laugh, they get it, and that's how I get some buy-in. How do you, what is important for you to know? What's important for you to learn?
Technical things,
No.
It's okay, yeah. Потому что это телефон. Коллега. I'm not cameraman for коллега. I'm the CEO, bitch. So, about I'm sorry, Artem, I love you. I'm not gay.
Have you been to Banya?
Yes.
That's so gay. Banya's like the gayest thing ever.
Do you wearing a towel in Banya or something like in Canada?
Depends. Well, okay, we don't have Banya in Canada.
What?
We don't have Banya in Canada.
How do you live? That's why you moved.
We don't. Yeah,
I can imagine my life without a banya.
yeah.
And Russian.
It is. I mean, sometimes there is sometimes there's a sauna someplace, but it's not. It's not Banya. They don't. We have nothing like Banya in Canada. Nothing at all, which really sucks because Banya is freaking awesome.
It's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, it is
Especially
absolutely.
the Russian banya.
Yes, yeah. Well, it's like that could be like the greatest export of Russia if anybody thought to export it. I think there is one traditional Russian banya in Toronto, but the only people who know about it are Russians. Yeah, no one else goes. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
About your moving in Russia. So what was your first few weeks in Russia? How did it feel? What did you doing?
Oh my God. Okay. Well, it was kind of weird, kind of frightening because I'd sold everything I owned in Canada and came to Russia with a couple of bags, and it was now I'm living in a different country with a completely different language, with a totally different lifestyle, and I had to find a job, and I had to find a job. I had to start making money. I had to start learning to live in the city. I had to get things like, good God, I had to get insurance. I had to get a travel card for the metro. I had to get a SIM card for the phone. I mean, all of this stuff, all of this really basic stuff. All of the housekeeping. It took it took a couple of weeks to do that, and again, all of this in Russian. Oh my God.
Was it complicated?
Yes.
Was it? Yes.
Complicated and difficult, and
I can understand about SIM card for mobile because they usually need a passport and so on. So
well, and then what are the tariffs, and what do you get for this tariff? Like, are you getting, how much data are you getting? And then I discovered, like SMSs were extra, so I had to pay for that. And then if I wanted to make international phone calls, that was an extra charge. No, my pay for my Russian SIM card I think about 450 rubles a month, and all of the stuff that I get, and I get, I don't know, like 400 minutes of phone calls, and I don't know, like 10 million SMS messages, and I think 50 gigs of data. Okay. Oh, you say
So not enough.
no, more than enough. The 50 gigs of data in Canada would cost you $200 a month.
$200.
200
Canadian dollars.
200 Canadian dollars a month to get 10 gigs of data on your phone. 10, not 50. 10 would be $75-$80 a month.
Well, yeah, I heard that we have one of the cheap internet and mobile connection in the world. And one of, not the cheapest, but one of, yeah.
But very, very close. Yeah, I think the only country that gives you a run for your money is Estonia. Estonia is cheap like borscht, but
Like what? Borscht?
yeah,
Borscht?
borscht.
Depends on where you're eating this.
Yeah. This is an English expression.
It's free in my granny's kitchen. You know?
And probably very good.
Yeah.
Excellent. So yeah, it was complicated. Also, Russian is a very unforgiving language to learn because the only people who speak Russian are Russians.
Belarusians the same.
Well,
Kazakhstan.
Yeah, well,
And
yes, but
many countries, Turkmenistan.
yeah, but really, these people were brought up learning Russian in school.
Yeah,
You know,
but they speak very well. One of my friends, he's Turkmenian, and he's speaking like it's his language, you know. But perfect pronunciation, no whole words and so on.
Right, but these are all the former CIS. These are the CIS countries. All part of the old Soviet Soviet Empire.
Okay.
So the only people who are speaking are people who are used to it, part of the culture. In English, you have to listen to people with all kinds of different accents. East Indians, Chinese, Jamaican, South African, Australian, American, British, New Zealand, people from France who are speaking English, Italians who are speaking English. So you get all of these accents, and native English speakers are used to hearing these accents and translating them. Making them. It doesn't matter how bad someone's English is. We can usually figure out what the hell they want. Russians, you poor guys. When I try to speak your language, I'll say something. I'll take 5 minutes to work out the case structure in a frickin' sentence, and I'll go into a store and I'll ask for something, and the shopkeeper just looks at me and she goes, "Что?"
And you like.
Yes, exactly. I just можно.
Можно, пожалуйста.
Можно, пожалуйста. Oh my God. Because I'm not saying things, Yachiznak. I can't, no one, the pronunciation is so very, very particular, and you're not used to hearing people pronounce things incorrectly.
Yeah, and I heard how you speak in Russian, and you have to be a little bit more loud, but I understand when it's complicated when you're not sure about pronunciation and about this word, how complicated to be loud. Yeah?
Yes, yeah. And I have to admit that I might be a very good teacher, but I'm a terrible student. All the things that I tell you to do, be brave, don't, try that. I don't do that. I don't do any of that. I don't do any of the shit that I tell you guys to do. Yeah.
So, about your first flat.
No.
Yeah. How did they call it? A pump?
A pop.
Yeah. Tell us the whole story.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm sitting at home. It's January of 2020. It's January of 2020. Oh, it's January. Okay, it's January of 2020, and I'm sitting in the kitchen, and I've been working at the school I'm working at, New Planet. I've been working there for about 6 months, and January in the afternoon, and I'm doing some prep for classes that evening, and I smell gas, and I thought, maybe I should check and see if there's anything on the stove. Boom! Okay, so the bathroom fucking explodes. There's a fireball that goes down the hallway. The glass shatters in the top. I'm covered in glass, and I go out. I'm trying to see where the cat is. Has the cat been, has the cat been barbecued or whatever the hell?
No, you Russia.
Yeah, there's stuff in the hallway that's on fire. So I put out the fire on the stuff in the hallway, and then I go into the bathroom. There's smoke pouring up from behind the bathtub. The entire ceiling has collapsed. The bathtub is full of rubble. The walls and the smoke billowing out everywhere. And so I think, okay, what the? All right. Boy, my Russian really sucks. So I phone my partner, who works at the Russian Museum, and I said, yo, you need to phone the fire department. And she says, what? I said, the apartment is on fire. It exploded. Phone the fire department. Do it right now. She said, okay. And then her daughter comes home. Oh my God. And her daughter comes home, and I gave her the cat, I gave her her papers, and I said, go stay with your father. And she looks at me, she's, what happened? I said, the apartment exploded. So I don't know whether the place is on fire, and then MCS shows up, and they've got hoses. Now the place it was on fire, and now it's wet. Everything is wet. Okay, it's soaked. They rip the fridge out of the kitchen. They throw it in the other room. They're chopping through the floor with their axes. They're trying to find out where the fire came from. And yeah. Anyways, I found out that the guy downstairs was doing remont, and he was drilling into the wall, and he pierced the gas line, and then he went out to have a cigarette. Meanwhile, gas is just percolating up behind the walls, and it found either the pilot light for a kolonka or a spark someplace, and boom. Mm-hmm. Anyways, MCS, they want to have an interview with us, the following day, or a couple of days later, because they need to file a report on this. And We go in. MTS guy says, "What happened?" And I said, "Well, my apartment exploded." He said, "Are you sure it was an explosion?" And I said, "I was pretty sure it was an explosion. I saw, a very loud bang and a fireball going down the hallway, setting everything, ablaze." He says, "Well, are you sure it was an explosion? Maybe it was a pop." I said, "No, it was a fucking explosion. I was in the kitchen when the place exploded. I know it exploded because I was there in the kitchen."
Look at me. I was beautiful before this.
Yes, exactly. I was. No, I wasn't. Might have improved things if the explosion had been bigger. Anyways, and Buddy Boy says, "Well, maybe maybe I should just write it was a pop." I said, "You can write whatever you want, but." There was a fireball. There was, whatever.
Like you've seen it, yeah, fireball.
Yeah, fireball going down the hallway. Yeah. There's glass everywhere. Boom. Yes. Anyways, apparently I found out later that gas explosions don't happen in Russia because gas explosions are very, very dangerous. But a gas pop is not a very serious thing, so that's okay. If there's a pop, it's not so bad. Explosion is very bad. Pop? That's okay.
Yeah, pop is usually happening, yeah. But not explosion.
No,
not in Russia.
Not in Russia.
Not in our country.
Yeah, no, not in Russia. No, Russia is an explosion-free nation as far as gas goes, because gas it's safe. Gas is safe. You can use gas. Please
gas
use
is money.
Gas is money.
Yeah,
that's right. We should be selling some to Germany, maybe. That would be good. Anyways. Gas for a better life, for a better future. So, anyways,
is that ad of
that's
of gas?
I'm thinking. Okay, Gazprom. Yeah, cough up some money for this podcast.
Yeah, with your voice,
Oh, yes.
You recorded a book, right? Vladimir Zeland or Vadim Zeland?
Vadim Zeland.
Vadim Zeland.
Zeland, yes.
Transurfing reality.
Transurfing reality, yes.
Do you remember any?
Oh yes.
Letters from the.
How does it go? Something like the pendulums of your life. You have to watch out for pendulums that dominate, and really you need to envision. The slide of your ideal life so that you could move on to that timeline where everything comes real. Oh my God.
Pendulum?
Pendulums. Pendulum is like a thing on the end of a rope. Like a heavy weight on the end of a string, and it swings. And he's saying,
destroy building? No.
Yeah. That's a big one. But a small one, or like on a clock. It swings, click, click. So the point that he was saying, a pendulum, well, it swings, it goes in one direction, it does its thing. Try to stop a pendulum, it doesn't want to stop. This is like the rut you're in with your life. If you want to change your life, you have to understand what the things that are controlling it, and you have to imagine something completely different. Yes, visualize the world you want to live in. Understand what it is that you need, and if you visualize it absolutely accurately, you will find that suddenly it just happens. Things materialize for you. It's kind of like the prosperity gospel in Christian churches in the United States. If you pray hard enough, God will give it to you. If you imagine what you want, if you imagine the life that you need, yes, you will get it.
Yeah, sometimes when I can't sleep, I just turn on YouTube this book of Vadim Zeland and completely. Well, because now it sounds good. I will make subtitles for this video. I don't know how I make the titles for this shit. Really, okay. It's like speaking in Canadian. Okay,
you put it in italics. Or something like that, or something special. There you go.
So, what's shortly? What's in Russia better than in Canada?
Oh my God! I would say the people here are better educated, generally speaking, much better educated, and I think. When you get to know a Russian, they're open, warm, friendly, and incredibly passionate. Canadians are not very passionate people. When I said Canada was boring, it really
It's
did.
true.
Yeah, it really is true.
Okay.
Okay. And I really enjoy that Russian passion. It's amazing. It's lovely. It's terrific. And it manifests in so many different ways.
Passion, not passion.
Passion. Well, the way you guys approach your English lessons. Oh my God, you're there, you're into it, you're enthusiastic. It's really amazing. Or when we go to somebody invites me to the dacha. Like the dacha is that's what are we doing? We're eating, we're drinking, we're talking. There's a real engagement with what's going on. It's not just I'm going to the dacha. No, it's just really.
Dacha is fun usually.
Yeah.
Well, if your dacha has a banyo, oof,
Yeah, exactly.
it's amazing. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's right now. That is the thing that makes it very, very interesting for me here. Architecture is better too, generally. But St. Petersburg, like one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Oh my God.
I think I agree. Yeah. So. Why you moved in Russia?
Why did I move to Russia?
Yeah, I think everyone asked you. I still I'm confused. I don't know.
Okay, look, really.
If you wanted an adventure, yeah, it's the best country for adventures.
Well, okay, really, it's really, really simple. Bunch of friends are getting old and dying, and a bunch of them didn't live the lives they wanted. They were always waiting until something good would happen, and until the perfect time to do something for themselves, and that perfect time never came. So there is no perfect time. So I decided to do what I could when the opportunity presented itself. Number one. Number two. I fell in love with St. Petersburg. It is an absolutely glorious city, and with the people I met here. Oh my God, so incredibly passionate, so engaged, so beautiful, so fantastic. I thought this is incredible. Third, Russia is a country that is completely unknown to the West. No one knows about Russia. No one understands Russia. Russia, to us, is a guy with big frickin' eyebrows standing on the top of the Lenin Mausoleum watching tanks. Okay, that's Russia. That's the only thing we know about the country. So I came here to learn. China I know about, don't like it. India I know about, don't like it. The Middle Eastern countries, Islam, not really interested. Where does that leave? Well, Central and South America, a possibility. Africa, a possibility. But no, I was in St. Petersburg, Russia. Know nothing about it. Didn't ever study the language in university or in high school. Knew nothing about the language, nothing about the culture, nothing. I thought, wow, I'm totally ignorant. I know nothing. Let's go there. And there we go.
Especially, I don't know how complicated is Russian language. Hey, fuck Google this. No. It's not so complicated.
It's not going to be so hard.
This will be fun. Learning new things.
I cry every day. Every time I read the textbook, I just go, fuck. What am I thinking? Oh my God.
Okay. Last question from Anonymous.
Oh, Anonymous.
Anonymous, yeah. Do you know someone who stole a car?
Possibly.
Possibly. What do you know about this person who stole a car?
They're terrible.
I heard about this person.
A terrible human being, given to extremes of behavior that probably should not be tolerated in any civilized society. I think if I was to describe this person using a Russian word, I would say that this person is truly skatina.
Not bad. But you will say to your friend. You do a friend, of course. Yeah. I know some crazy friends too. Yeah. Yeah. So
they steal cars. They smoke marijuana. Oh God, terrible.
Yeah. My friend don't smoke marijuana, so it's like my opinion and Russians' opinion. If you stole car for revenge and bring it to airport and get this thing empty of fuel, you're cool. Say it to your friends. He's cool.
He's cool.
Yes,
oh,
he's cool.
Okay. Well, anyways, he will be very pleased to hear that. Thank you. Dude, happy?
Yes, and you?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for coming.
Boom. I am totally honored.
For I don't know, maybe a cover?
Whatever.
No,
This guy's awesome.
For
oh,
cover.
what? Yeah.
Look at here, yeah. Maybe not for cover then. Maybe
Yeah,
for
okay.
you.
All right. Dude, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.